Okay, for this video, I'm laughing because I just realized that the videos I took up until now, they were photos. So total rookie move. I have to catch you up now. I'm about half to three quarters of the way through. So anyway, so what we're doing here is I'm replacing the backing on a golf cart seat. So I'll catch you up to where we're at. Unreal. Anyway, so here's what the issue is, and I'll go through what I've done so far. Typical seat on the back of a club car. I took these off, as you can see in the video I did before this, to put in the rear seat. When I took this one off, the back was so corroded, and you'll see this was attached to this. I lifted it up, and the T-nuts that were on the back of it just came right through. It's just old. It's almost 40 years old. So what I did was, instead of trying to do some patchwork or put something in here to like some kind of a sealing putty or like something to grip, like some kind of there's a bunch of things out there. Anyway, I didn't feel comfortable with it because it's biting on to rotten old wood. So I decided, let's just get some 1/2-inch plywood and let's do this whole thing. So went through, took all the ends off, just popping up the little staples and then pulling them out with needle nose pliers. Worked really well, so that worked good. So once we get this off, this is what we're left with. A lot of this wood underneath stuck to the old foam. It wasn't glued, it was just from sheer pressure over time and the moisture. So I ripped off enough that little pieces that now we're good that way. Took this, built a template with it, cut with a jigsaw, a new piece. 1/2 inch, good to go. I used a hole saw and punched a couple of holes. Just those are the breather holes. They're not anal, these are a little bit bigger. I used a 1/2-inch hole saw. That was a little bit smaller, but no big deal. Not anal about it. One tip and trick I did say is that when drilling through, once you're about 3/4 of the way through and the pilot bit on a hole saw is through, flip it over and then drill on this side. So that way you're not coming out and busting out. It'll split the plywood and it'll look like hell. Honestly, on this project, it wouldn't have been the end of the world because this is all hidden. Just give it a light sanding, but flip it over and then finish it from the back side. So that, and then I didn't even have to sand those. They're nice and clean and smooth on both sides. For the outside, I took a sander and I actually went around and buffed and cleaned the edges this way, and then also the tops and bottom of the edges, just because mainly it's all going to be hidden, but I don't want anything over time to be any kind of a wear spot that's going to wear through this. So I felt having this baby smooth around the outside was very important. So there's our new piece of wood. So I've gotten to the point now where I had to take this off, and it was attached because the T-nuts were on the back side. So I just used the Sawzall here, or officially reciprocating saw, but use the Sawzall to cut the ends off, but there's still tabs of the old T-nuts, so it doesn't come through this bracket yet. So I'm gonna have to go like that and just hit them with the saw again and cut the heads off. But either way, no big deal. 4 more extra quick cuts, but then I'll have a clean bracket. But once this was done and out of the way, then I could line this up as such and make sure that equal space all the way around, and then mark holes. So that's where I'm at now. So now I marked holes for the new T-nuts. Sounds funny when you say it quick, eh? T-nuts. It's like, hey, how about these nuts? Anyway, so here's the new T-nut. One thing, I'm not big on buying, I don't know, you look for quality. These are really good quality. I got them on Amazon. It was like $9 or $10 for like 50 of them. At the local store, it was $9 for one, or $8 for one. Like, not even close. And these seem good quality. So we'll see how they go. But now, next is to actually drill the holes for the T-nuts to come through, the barrel of it. So when looking at it, I think a 3/8 bit is going to do me just well. So we'll do 4 holes with that. In worst case, if they need just a hint of reaming, this will work out perfect. So we'll do that. Then you set her in there, and preferably probably a rubber mallet. Dead blow might work really well too to push the energy in, and we'll knock those in. And then we'll come back. Hopefully, maybe I'll be doing video still and not just taking pictures. So we'll come back in a second here. But since we're sort of halfway through the build, or a little bit more now, if any of this is informative or it's handy, throw a like and subscribe. You know the whole deal. So let me... So I used a ball peen hammer. Decided piss on it. Why do the rubber or I had the rubber mallet out and the dead blow mallet out, and I'm like, just use a ball peen, just use a hammer. They punched right in easy. 3/8 hole worked perfect. Didn't have to ream it, just a clean shot. They went in nice and smooth. So we're good to go. So now I can start putting it on and getting the outside. Let's staple it down. And then after that, all I got to do is clean up, get those bolts out of the back side of that bracket, cut those out, and then I can put that bracket on top. So let me start stapling it down. And once I get a few of it, if there's any tips or tricks or what I've learned, or if it just goes real smooth, then not a big deal. I think because of the fact that the foam is so thick, and this is such high quality vinyl they used back in '91, my fear was that once I unstapled it, it was going to like shrink on me, you know, and then I got to really work to try get it back to where it was. It hasn't even budged. And then also when you take into account how much foam you got here, you can push the top piece of wood down to ensure you can get some overlap on this. And initially there was like this whole side and this whole side, the staples had rusted out. So it's actually going to be better than it was before it broke. So let me get that and get the staple gun out, and we're going to start on that. And then we're... The wood's in. Went in easy. Just set it in and wrap this around. You can see on some sides, like look how it's not even over. But if you push down, then you got place. All you got to do is, well, like I said, I figured it would be okay because you got lots of room by pushing this down. Good old cheap little stapler I've had forever that works. There's the there's what I'm using. So 3/8. And so we're just going to punch them around. So I'm going to start, before I actually do that, let's make sure the way it's sitting that this just works. Does it line up? Is it oh yeah, that's doable. So I just wanted to double check that, because we have some play here where I could move this a little bit, move the board a little bit up or down if I needed to, if I was out a bit on one of them. So definitely worth checking that first. So since we got lots here, I think I'm going to start here. I'm going to punch a couple here, and then I'm going to punch a couple here so that we get 2 sides. Then I'm going to work on either side this way. This one's tighter, so I think I'll do this one then next, since there's a little bit more there. Push this one down and get it, and then work my way to the corners. So get about 3 or 4 here, 3 or 4 there, and then we'll get on the corners and we'll see how this goes. Okay, that went real slick. The spots where I had to pull it up a bit to push down gave me lots of room. One thing is, especially on this end, when I pushed it down, I could almost go further. Maybe the foam's a bit weaker there. I could go further. So you have to make sure not to go too far so that everything is still taut after. And you can see the original line you want to keep. So now all I got left is just the flaps, which is good. That's what I wanted, my corner flaps. So then I can make sure that's taut in there. Throw a couple of staples in on each corner, and it's done for this part. One thing I didn't mention that I will, make sure you put something down that's soft. I just use this chunk of carpet because you don't want to wreck this at all. And you're hammering it with a vibration. It's gonna, if you were on something rough, it could very easily wreck this. So make sure you put something soft down. You'd hate to go through all this and then wreck this anyway. So no, just a heads up. So I'm going to do the 4 corners, and this is done. We got a new seat backing. Good for another. Small hiccup, as there always is. The bolts I bought, they don't go through the original holes on this bracket. So, no worries. Measure it out. Just find a drill bit that's... Take your back of the drill bit and find it just big enough to cover the threads. Worst case, you can always ream it a little bit. You don't want it too sloppy though. So I'd rather have it just a hair tight and then ream it out. So I'll do that, punch out these 4 holes. The other thing, when putting this back on, this one had this little film here. I'm assuming that's probably just a new film that really isn't needed. It was just the wrapper that was over top of this plastic when it was new, but it was on there, so I'm going to leave it on there. Make sure your orientation is correct when both screwing these back in. You look at the other one, okay, the small side, the point goes up. So we're going to flip it. On the shorter side, the small side, the point goes up. Okay, make sure it's the same. You could always undo it, but best to do it right the first time. There we go. So I'll drill these 4 holes and we'll start bolting this down and we'll see what she looks like. And then it should... It is done. Here's the bolt I used. So you can see, not very long because it only has to bite into that T-nut. It doesn't need to stick out the backside. It's only going to push into the insulation or the padding anyway. So I put a lock washer underneath just to hold it, but I didn't put a flat. The hole is tight enough that I figured everything is fine. And the more I put there, just the more it sticks out, and the more this, the longer the bolt needs to be. So I'm like, you know what? That works good. I figured if it didn't hold well, I'd throw a flat in there, but no, we're good. So tighten them all up. Good to go. One thing I did have when putting this on is this is obviously a tighter hole than the sloppiness of the larger hole in the plastic that I used to do my markings. So if I could do it again, I would use this as my template, figure out where this was, get your rough circles, and then fine tune a dot in the middle using this. These two, the holes were a little bit too close together, so I had to actually ream them a bit wide. So just taking the drill bit and going up and down, and then just holding it up, and then on this one holding it down back and forth, just to try I'll blank the holes a little bit to make them this way. Then no problem. These ones were perfect. These ones just needed that extra like 1/8 of an inch, even 1/16 of an inch, but they needed that extra little bit. But now, good to go. Solid as can be. Done deal. Just like the original one, only better. Now we're ready to put them on the golf cart, which I'm not even going to do a video for that. That is literally, it's just 2 bolts. They go on the back of the golf cart and done. Put the battery in and we're good for spring. There we go. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, throw a subscribe if you don't mind, and see you on the next one.